Cutillo here, back again on Heat Ratio Sports for the final judgment. And today, do we have a fun judgment for you? And I know this is going to catch a lot of traction and a lot of attention, and there's going to be a lot of comments for this, but no Barry Bonds, no Hall of Fame. Listen, this is very simple, and I'm going to go through a huge amount of accolades here before I get to my opinion on why Barry Bonds is my favorite player of all time. I don't want to hear all the baseball truthers about the steroid era because I'm gonna trump you on that as well. Because there's some things that we need to talk about when it comes to steroid use with guys and players that are already in the Hall of Fame. We're gonna get to that real shortly. But here's my issue. The Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown is a prestigious honor. We all know about it. Us sports fans, listen, it just breathes nostalgia. It breathes baseball pastime. Everybody knows about Canton, Ohio. When you're a football fan, right? We all know about how prestigious that honor is. But we're talking about the Baseball Hall of Fame. We're talking about guys like Mantle and Williams and Ruth, right? Guys like Jackie Robinson. We're going back. I've been there myself multiple times. Gorgeous town, tremendous museum, lot of things going on there. And I'm going to be honest, if in his last year of eligibility, if Barry Bonds does not get in the hall, I'm done. I'm done with it because it becomes a parody, becomes a joke. And the reason why I say that is listen, I'm a big wrestling fan. I love WWE. I love it. I go back so many years, okay? Was a wrestling writer, covered events, this and that. And they have the WWE Hall of Fame. And some people think it's a joke. I actually like it because I think it really embodies what wrestling is all about. And it gives the guys the accolades I think they deserve. But from people that are outside, they look at it as a parody. They look at it as a joke. They're going to say, hey, it's entertainment. It's not even a real sport, right? So that's what's going to happen for me when it comes to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds was the single most exciting player of my lifetime in any sport. In any sport. And I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. But Michael Jordan, for his era, for his 6 to 8 years of dominance, Barry Bonds went 12 plus. Barry Bonds was must see TV. Barry Bonds stopped Sports Center. Barry Bonds stopped the news. He stopped Beverly Hills 90210, which was a huge deal back in 92. He stopped it when he was at the plate. You want to know why? Look at these accolades. First of all, we already know Barry Bonds, 762 home runs and 7 MVP awards. Hank Aaron had one season with an OPS higher than Barry Bonds' career average. Do you even know what that means? That is unheard of. Okay? Unheard of. Barry Bonds' first 12 years at San Francisco, 30 home runs plus and 40 plus in 8 out of them. Look at the walks, 232 walks in 2004 and intentional 120 in 617 plate appearances. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Go back to Buck Showalter in 1998 against the Arizona Diamondbacks where he gets walks with the bases loaded. They were threatened so much by his bat that they decided to bring the entire run up on the board in a tie game and let Barry Bonds take first base. Barry Bonds owns 4 of the top 11 spots for the best single season on base percentage, a jarring .609 OBP in 2004 and 581 in 2002. And those numbers put him not only in the likes, but above Ted Williams, Mickey Mantle, and yes, the great Gambino, Babe Ruth. One home run every 8.2 at bats and 608 intentional walks. The next closest is Albert Pujols with 312. He doubles the next person. Now, here's my issue with everybody, real quick, about the steroids. I get it. Performing enhancing drugs, he cheated, he did this, he did that. You still got to hit a baseball. You still got to practice. You still got to understand what pitch is coming. You still have to understand how to adjust to inside pitches, to outside pitches. You still have to go up against all different kinds of arms. And the reason why I say that, The reason why I say that, I'm going to give you this other stat. Okay. The other stat is Jeff Bagwell and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., well, not junior, senior, with 449 home runs each, both Hall of Famers. Bonds hit home runs off of 449 different pitchers. Now, my issue with the Hall of Fame is this: Pudge Rodriguez, Mike Piazza, Jeff Bagwell, and Bud Selig, the mastermind behind the steroid era, who knew what was going on and decided not to stop it because he was lining his pockets with hard-earned cash in his mind. He knew what was going on. He looked a blind eye. We all know what happened with the strike era in 95, 96. It came back 98, race for the record. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, they brought baseball back. And then Barry Bonds and A-Rod and Piazza, they all brought it back. And Bud Selig was loving it so much. He's a Hall of Famer. Why is he in? Why is Pudge, Piazza, Bagwell all with steroid implications? Why are they in? But Barry Bonds is not. How about this one? How about this year alone, David Ortiz gets votes for the Hall of Fame and most likely will probably be entered into the Hall of Fame after getting a positive test for PEDs in 2003, even though he says it was a false positive, but still, no proof. No proof. So why do we allow everybody else in that has steroid implications, but we don't allow the GOAT? Barry Bonds not being in the Hall of Fame, Barry Bonds being basically blackballed and blacklisted from Major League Baseball, to me, is a complete joke. Listen, I am not going to sit here and say he didn't take steroids. I understand it, right? I get it. I understand. But again, it just goes back to like the Houston Astros when they won the World Series. Everybody says they cheated and they stole signs. Who doesn't steal signs? My whole point is, you can't tell me because Barry Bonds used more steroids than Jeff Bagwell or David Ortiz or Pudge Rodriguez or Mike Piazza that he's not allowed in the Hall, but they are. It's either all or none. And if you allow those guys in, if you allow every single one, whether the implication is minute or not, Barry Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He is the GOAT when it comes to a home run leader. He is the GOAT when it comes to a Major League Baseball player, especially in my era. And he will go down in history as the ultimate mistake. And what I mean by mistake is not being allowed into Cooperstown. That's my final judgment today. Again, at Tony Cutillo, at TCutillo23, at Heat Ratio Sports. Make sure you subscribe, get the notification bell, get in those comments. Let me know. Do you think Barry Bonds on his last leg deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? And if he doesn't, damn near besides steroids, give me a good reason why.